A sunny cemetery afternoon. Officer Silas Vance, mid-30s with weathered features and kind eyes, kneels beside a small granite headstone. His dark blue police uniform contrasts against a vibrant green grass. Echo, his alert German shepherd with intelligent amber eyes, sits rigidly beside him, wearing a tactical K9 vest. Silas places a bouquet of rainbow-colored flowers, daisies, carnations, chrysanthemums, against a stone marked Lyra Vance, beloved daughter. Welcome, it's Mr. Bryan Tales again. Officer Silas Vance approaches the small grave with mechanical precision, his polished boots crunching on the gravel path of Lakeside Memorial. The cemetery spread before him like a green ocean dotted with granite islands, each marking a story ended too soon. His German shepherd, Echo, walks in perfect step beside him, the tactical vest bearing her name and badge number catching the autumn sunlight. "Easy, girl," Silas murmurs as Echo pulls against the lead, her nose working the air with unusual intensity. It's Sunday, 3 o'clock, 6 months to the day since the school called with news that shattered his world, a drowning accident during a field trip to Mirror Lake. His 8-year-old Lyra, his sunshine, his reason for wearing the badge, gone in an instant. The officials said she'd wandered from the group, fallen through thin ice. By the time they found her, it was too late. A closed casket funeral. Too traumatic to view, Chi Vane had said, gripping Silas's shoulder with practiced sympathy. Now Silas kneels at the grave marked Lyra Marie Vance, forever our little light. He places a rainbow bouquet against the cold stone, fingers trembling as he arranges each stem with care. These were her favorites, bright colors that matched her spirit. Echo whines, pulling toward the oak tree 20 feet behind them. She's been doing this for weeks, fixating on that tree, refusing to settle during their visits. "Echo, he'll," Silas commands, but his voice cracks. Then he feels it, a small hand, cold and shaking, touching his shoulder. His body freezes. Time stops. Echo barks once, sharply, then her tail begins wagging frantically. Silas turns slowly, his heart hammering against his ribs, and sees the impossible standing before him. Lyra, thin and dirty, wearing the tattered remains of her school uniform, tears streaming down her hollow cheeks. "Daddy," she whispers, "I came home." 6 months earlier, Lyra had stood at the edge of Mirror Lake with her classmates, mitten hands clutching a nature journal. The field trip was supposed to be fun, ice fishing demonstrations, wildlife tracking, hot chocolate. She'd been excited to tell Daddy about it when he got home from his shift. Then a hand clamped over her mouth. The man who grabbed her was huge, wearing a ski mask and smelling of cigarettes. He dragged her away from the lake toward a van hidden in the trees. Lyra kicked and scratched, but he was too strong. Inside the van, another person waited, someone who made her heart sink because she recognized a voice giving orders. "Make sure no one sees her. The boss has plans for the property she's going to." They drove for hours. Lyra cried until she had no tears left, then retreated into silence. The warehouse they brought her to was cold and dark, filled with crates and strange equipment. A small room in the back became her prison. A mattress on the floor, a bucket for a bathroom, and a single bulb that flickered constantly. Her captor, a man named Sullivan, wasn't cruel but wasn't kind. He brought food irregularly, fast food bags, stale bread, sometimes nothing for days. He never spoke to her, never answered her questions about why she was there or when she could go home. Lyra counted days by scratching marks on the concrete wall. When she reached 180, she stopped counting and started planning. The warehouse had sounds, trucks coming and going, voices arguing about shipments and distribution routes. Sometimes she heard her daddy's name spoken in angry tones, always followed by bitter laughter. She didn't understand why, but she knew one thing with absolute certainty. Daddy thought she was dead, and she had to find a way to show him she wasn't. Back at the cemetery, Silas catches Lyra as her legs give out, pulling his daughter against his chest so tightly she gasps. She's real, solid, breathing. Her heart beats against his ribs like a trapped bird, fast and desperate. "You're alive," he whispers, the words catching in his throat. "You're alive. Oh, God, Lyra, you're alive." Echo dances around them, whining and licking Lyra's face, her tail a blur of joy. The dog had known. All those weeks of strange behavior, the whining at Lyra's bedroom door, the refusal to accept the grave's reality. Echo's instincts had screamed what Silas couldn't let himself believe. Lyra's thin arms wrapped around his neck. "Daddy, I couldn't get home. I tried so many times. He kept me locked up. But I remembered. You always come here on Sundays. You told me that Grandma's grave was where you went when you needed to think. I thought, maybe. Sure, baby, it's okay. You're safe now." But even as Silas says it, his mind is racing. Someone took his daughter. Someone staged her death. Someone is still out there, believing their crime is buried forever. He pulls back enough to look at her face. Thinner, marked by bruises in various stages of healing. Her eyes carrying shadows no 8-year-old should know. Rage builds in his chest like a rising flood. "Who took you?" Lyra's eyes dart around the cemetery fearfully. "I don't know his name. But, Daddy," her voice drops to a terrified whisper, "I heard your boss talking to him. The chief. He said you got too close to something you shouldn't have seen." The world tilts. Chief Vane, the man he'd trusted with his life, the man who'd stood at the funeral, who'd approved his leave, who'd looked him in the eye and lied. Silas acts on instinct born from 7 years of training. "We're not safe here," he tells Lyra, scanning the cemetery with new eyes. Every monument becomes a potential hiding spot, every distant figure a threat. He lifts Lyra despite her protest that she can walk, carrying her quickly toward his patrol SUV parked along the cemetery's edge. Echo ranges ahead, alert and protective, her training taking over. If anyone approaches, she'll alert them. Inside the vehicle, Silas locks the doors and pulls out his personal cell phone, not his department-issued one, which could be tracked. He dials a number he hasn't called in 2 years. "Ray?" "It's Silas. I need your help, and I need you not to ask questions until we're face-to-face." Ray Martinson, his former training officer, had retired to a small house outside the city after taking a bullet that ended his career. He was the only person Silas trusted completely now, someone outside the department's reach, but inside its knowledge. 20 minutes later, they're sitting in Ray's kitchen. Lyra devours a sandwich while Echo positions herself at the door, watching. Ray listens to the story with the careful attention of a man who's seen department corruption before. If Vane orchestrated this, he's got accomplices. Ray says quietly, "The field trip supervision, the body identification, the closed casket, it all had to be coordinated." Silas nods grimly. "I need to see the drowning report. The real one, not the summary they showed me. That's department property. They'll notice if you access it. Then I'll break in after hours." Silas looks at his daughter, now sleeping on Ray's couch with Echo curled beside her. "I need to know exactly how deep this goes before I decide who to trust." Ray reaches for his old department keys, never turned in. "Then let's find out together." The precinct is a different place at 3 a.m. The late shift runs on minimal crew, desk sergeant processing drunk and disorderlies, a few officers writing reports. Silas uses his badge to enter through the side entrance, moving with the confidence of someone who belongs. Ray waits in a car 2 blocks away, ready to call in an emergency distraction if needed. Silas's hands are steady as he navigates to the records room. His access code still works. Why would they change it? They think he's a broken man, drowning in grief. No threat to anyone. The drowning report sits in a file cabinet marked "Closed Cases, Accidental Death." Silas photographs every page with his phone, his jaw tightening with each revelation. The investigating officer's signature. Detective Walsh, one of Chief Vane's closest allies. The witness statements, all from school staff who since transferred to other districts. The medical examiner's report, signed by Dr. Hendricks, who retired abruptly 3 months ago. A pattern emerges, clear as daylight. Everyone involved in confirming Lyra's death has been moved, transferred, or retired. Loose ends tied up. Witnesses scattered. But they made one mistake, the original dispatch call. Silas finds it buried in the digital logs, and his blood runs cold. The call reporting a child falling through the ice came in 15 minutes before the field trip bus even arrived at Mirror Lake. Someone called it an early. Someone who knew what was about to happen. Silas photographs the dispatch log, his heart pounding. This is evidence of premeditation. This proves conspiracy. But it's not enough. Not without testimony. Not without the person who made that call. He needs to draw Chief Vane out into the open. He needs a chief to incriminate himself. And here's exactly one advantage. Vane believes Lyra is dead, and Silas is powerless. It's time to use that belief against him. Back at Ray's house, Silas lays out the evidence on the dining table like a detective building a case, because that's exactly what he is. Ray studies each document while Lyra sleeps upstairs, Echo standing guard at her door. This is federal-level corruption. Ray says, finally, police misconduct, kidnapping, filing false reports, evidence tampering. But we need Vane on record admitting to it. Silas has been thinking about this for hours. I'm going to fall apart. Ray looks up sharply. What? Publicly. Completely. Tomorrow at work, I'm going to request a meeting with Chief Vane. I'm going to tell him I can't handle being back, that I'm seeing Lyra everywhere, that I need extended leave or I might hurt myself. Silas's voice is cold, calculated. I'm going to be exactly what he expects, a broken father spiraling into despair. And what does that accomplish? It makes him comfortable, confident. If he thinks I'm falling apart, he'll let his guard down. He might even gloat. Silas's eyes are hard, and while he thinks I'm falling apart, I'll be documenting everything. Ray, I need you to contact the FBI field office. Not through any official channels. Your old Army buddy who went federal, the one who owes you. We need someone outside the department to authorize a wire. Ray nods slowly. And the end game? Silas looks toward the stairs where his daughter sleeps. Sunday. Next Sunday at the cemetery. I'll tell Vane I'm visiting the grave one last time before I check myself into psychiatric care. That I need closure, need to say goodbye to my badge and my daughter together. I'll wear a wire. And Way shows up to play the supportive superior, to maybe push me a little further toward the edge. Lyra steps out from behind the oak tree. Ray finishes, understanding dawning. Monday morning. Officer Silas Vance walks into the precinct looking like a ghost. His uniform is wrinkled, his eyes bloodshot, his hands shaking slightly as he clutches a coffee cup. Fellow officers exchange worried glances. The desk sergeant, Maria, reaches out as he passes. Silas, you okay? He flinches at the touch, mumbles something incoherent, and continues toward Chief Vane's office. His knock is hesitant, uncertain, nothing like his usual confident rap. Come in. Chief Vane's voice booms through the door. The chief is everything a police leader should look like. Tall, broad-shouldered, with steel gray hair and a chest full of commendation ribbons. His office walls display photos with mayors, governors, community leaders. A man above suspicion. Silas. Vane's expression shifts to practice concern. I wasn't expecting you back until next month. Are you sure you're ready? Silas sits heavily, his performance flawless. I'm not. Chief, I can't do this. I see her everywhere. Yesterday at the cemetery, I could swear I felt her hand on my shoulder. I'm losing my mind. Vane comes around the desk, sitting on its edge, a calculated gesture of casual intimacy. Grief does strange things to us. When I lost my son, it's not just grief, Silas interrupts, his voice cracking convincingly. Chief, I need help. Professional help. I was thinking, maybe extended leave, maybe even, he swallows hard, medical retirement. I don't think I can carry a badge when I can't trust my own mind. Something flickers in Vane's eyes. Relief? Satisfaction? It's gone too quickly to identify, but Silas sees it. That's a big decision. Vane says carefully, why don't we talk about this somewhere more private, away from the precinct? How about Sunday? We could meet at the cemetery if you'd like. Silas nods numbly. That would help. Closure. 3 o'clock? Vane suggests. 3 o'clock, Silas confirms, sealing the trap. Sunday arrives with clear skies and crisp autumn air. Silas kneels at Lyra's grave at 2:55 p.m. Echo beside him, both wearing concealed recording devices provided by FBI Special Agent Carson Hayes. Ray's contact, now running the operation from a surveillance van disguised as a grounds maintenance vehicle. Federal agents pose as cemetery visitors, scattered among the monuments with cameras and microphones. Ray keeps Lyra hidden behind the oak tree, her small body pressed against its trunk, waiting for a cue. Chief Vane arrives exactly on time, alone as expected. He approaches with a professional sympathy face, but Silas notices a confidence in his stride, the walk of a man who thinks he's won. "Silas," Vane says softly, kneeling beside him. "I'm glad you called. This is the right decision." "Is it?" Silas's voice is hollow. "Giving up everything I worked for?" "Sometimes we have to know when we're beaten," Vane says, and there's an edge to his words now, something cruel bleeding through. "Some cases don't have happy endings. Your daughter, what happened to her? Tragic. But you have to move on. You sound very certain about what happened." Silas says carefully. "The report said drowning. Accident." Vane's expression hardens slightly. "That's what the investigation concluded. Are you questioning?" "I'm questioning everything," Silas interrupts, dropping the broken man act. His voice turns to steel. "Like how the dispatch call came in 15 minutes before the bus arrived. Like how everyone who confirmed her death has been transferred or retired. Like how you knew I was getting close to your drug trafficking operation and decided to destroy me." Vane's hand moves toward his concealed weapon, but Echo growls low, her teeth bared. "Looking for this?" Agent Hayes emerges from behind a monument, weapon drawn, badge displayed. "FBI. Chief Marcus Vane, you're under arrest." "Now, baby," Ray whispers. Lyra steps out from behind the oak tree into the sunlight. Vane's face goes white. "No, that's impossible. She's alive," Lyra says firmly. "And I remember everything." Officer Silas Vance stands in his backyard, watching Lyra throw a tennis ball for Echo. The German shepherd catches it midair, her tail wagging with pure joy. Lyra's laughter, a sound he thought he'd never hear again, fills the autumn air like music. Chief Marcus Vane is awaiting trial on 18 federal charges, including kidnapping, conspiracy, evidence tampering, and corruption. Sullivan, the boss, and 4 other accomplices have already pleaded guilty in exchange for testimony. The drug trafficking ring that cost Silas's daughter has been dismantled completely. Silas has accepted a position with the FBI's Public Corruption Unit, partnering with Agent Hayes to investigate police misconduct across the state. Echo remains his partner, the dog who never stopped believing, whose instincts saved them both. As the sun sets, Silas calls Lyra inside for dinner. She runs toward him, Echo at her heels, and wraps her arms around his waist. "Daddy," she asks, "are we safe now?" He kisses the top of her head. "We're safe now, sunshine. I promise." Some graves hold the dead. Others hold the lies we're told to believe. But the truth always finds a way to rise. What would you have done in Officer Silas Vance's situation? Would you have trusted the system or taken justice into your own hands? Have you ever had a gut feeling that something was wrong, even when everyone told you otherwise? Share your story in the comment below. I read every single one. Here's a question to think about. Do you believe Echo knew Lyra was alive all along, or was it just a dog's loyalty to her memory? Dogs have incredible instincts. What's the most amazing thing a pet has ever done for you or someone you know? If this story of betrayal, survival, and a father's unbreakable love moved you, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss another tale from Mr. Brian Tales.